We are back from the sweatiest place on earth, Orlando, the beautiful Disney World, for NHSCC, the UCA High School Nationals. What a weekend it was down in Florida. Just a great weekend of cheerleading. I know both of us were super excited to talk about all the routines and skills and teams and coaches, and just every little bit about that weekend is just so great for the sport. So we're excited to dive in, and we hope you guys enjoy our recap of NHSCC. Cheer Chalk is this episode's sponsor. Cheer Chalk is a revolutionary new product, kind of sweeping the cheer world. You may have seen their posts on social media. It's a liquid chalk that you rub on, give it a sec, and it dries. Your hands get that white chalkiness, so you can get your grips. No sweaty palms, no sweaty fingers. Just solid grips and no stress about your grips. So if you or your athletes are needing something to fix your grips and to fix your stunting and your skills, look into Cheer Chalk. It's available on Amazon. So thank you to Cheer Chalk for sponsoring episode 8. Thanks for listening to episode 8. We appreciate you being a subscriber of the Mark Thru. Music's on. The baby's sleeping.
You ready for this? Who live is us? Who lit is this? Who real is us? We too legit. We are M-A-R-K-T-H-R-U. Mark Thru Podcast. Listen and learn. Watch and observe. Challenging us. They got some nerve. We great. You mad? Don't hate. Get to it. Don't wait. We do not hesitate. We doing what it takes. What we do. Mark Thru.
Live from the Rocky Mountains. It's the Mark Thru.
I was still gonna say Saturday night.
It's Saturday night.
Episode 8.
Welcome back from the sweatiest place on earth.
It wasn't that sweaty, it was really cold.
It was cold.
I was I'm glad I packed joggers.
I think only one time in my many times for that event,
Yeah.
that time of year, it was that cold.
I agree, that was the coldest I've ever,
Mm-hmm.
we've been to Disney many times, that's the coldest it's ever been. You know what doesn't make it better though? So many people would come up to us while we were on the football field, and they were like, well, you must be used to this, you're from Colorado. And I was like, just because we live in Colorado doesn't mean we enjoy, we came to Florida for warmth, we didn't come to Florida for more coldness.
What do you think? We practice outside?
I know.
Or we don't have heat?
I know. It was just
We
funny.
practice in a gym like everybody else.
A good handful of people were
I remember that. It's still cold when we go outside.
Exactly.
But still just practicing inside. But yeah, it was a good trip.
Yeah, it was fun.
Always good to go back to the field house and have a good run there, and then see some of our friends and see some, you saw your former coach. And,
Yeah. It's emotional weekend.
Yeah, some
I
former
love
teammates and athletes. So it's just a good weekend, wholesome weekend.
I love the National High School Cheerleading Championship. I really do.
NHSCC.
It's my favorite event of the year, next to the college nationals.
So yeah, now that we're back, it's weird. End of season is
I know,
so
isn't that
strange.
such a? We
It's
still have a couple.
The flow just slams on the brakes.
Yes.
But we're not in park yet.
It's you don't know what to do with your hands. Yeah, we're not in park yet because we still have a couple basketball games, but even basketball is slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
We have playoffs coming up, so that'll be fun, and hopefully we can do well through that. But then, as soon as we got back, I started finalizing our plans for the end of the year banquet.
Yeah, wrapping it up.
And it just feels as soon as we get home from high school nationals, it's okay, you're done.
The big
feeling.
chunk of our season of the kids' mental focus is now past.
Yeah.
And yeah, similarly, you're saying you were wrapping up the banquet, I was getting stuff ready for tryouts. So
Yeah, totally.
It's just
I saw that in our Google Drive. I was working on the calendar today, and I saw that you had stuff for tryouts edited and worked on, and I was it truly never stops for us. But I don't know about you, but I don't really want this season to end yet.
Yeah, it was fun. We have a good group of kids.
It's been a fun year. I don't think I'm ready to say goodbye to this team just yet. So luckily we have a couple weeks to still enjoy our games and stuff together. But I don't think I'm ready. It's come and gone so quick, like it always does.
Yeah, it's August, and we're doing the welcome freshman orientation,
Right.
and then boom, flight home from nationals.
I know.
Season in a flash. So.
I know. It was a good one. 3rd season, 3rd place at nationals.
Yeah. Quick run through of NHSCC. So 1, 3, 5, 7. So I'm gonna start. Top thing really that kind of stuck out to me was that it ran on time.
Totally.
Like everything was smooth. I heard there was an issue with some of the timing on Friday with game day, but that didn't affect us. So
no, we just had practice on Friday.
Smooth. I mean, we competed in 3 rounds of competition. We were
all
there.
on time.
3 separate times.
That has to be, and I know that you've been on this side of that, has to be so hard to like make sure things are running on time, especially when you have technology involved now because they're doing the e-scoring.
Oh yeah,
So,
multiple venues.
Yeah. And I was surprised, speaking of like the timing stuff, when we were done with finals, I was like, wait, we're not 2 hours behind waiting on results to find how we did finals. Like, finals happened, I think they even called us back early to load us on time. Like,
Yeah.
so I just remember you talking about how I ran on time. Finals is definitely when I remembered thinking like, oh, we probably won't know until 10 o'clock at night.
You just assume when you're leaving the venue, it's 11 p.m.
Right.
But it was like 7, and we were like,
done.
We were like, oh, we can, like, the block party hasn't even started yet.
That was it. Usually when we get out of there, the block party has already like, we're like 2 hours in, and we're like, all right, kids, we're gonna go for the last hour of the block party.
See if they let us on a ride.
But we're like, okay, I guess if you guys want to like grab something to eat and like change
like,
and
hang out.
Yeah, it was
celebrate.
That was nice to not have to rush to the block party with them, and they enjoyed it. So.
But yeah, so props to UCA for running it well. It was enjoyable. It was less stressful, less chaotic.
Yeah.
Over to you. 3.
So my 3 is the cheer floors were so ugly. Cheer paraphernalia all over the floor, and I'm just like, ugh. It was so ugly. The cheer floors looked ugly, so that bothered me. This is the cross I bear.
Of OCD.
Yes, there was no way for people to get them out of the way. I noticed this especially in the arena because we were higher up.
People weren't able to discard signs and props, so they just essentially left them where they stood, and then most of the second half of routines were just kind of compact and in the middle.
I will continue to champion my hope that they correct the sign rule from this year and moving forward into next season.
Papa bless.
Okay, number 5.
5. We walked about 100,000 steps from Thursday to Tuesday.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, and most of the time,
God.
we were either holding or pushing a baby doing that. So,
Yeah.
So boom.
I know. Good job. Good job.
So, I mean, part of that is attributed to we were in movies, so it's a little more of a hustle if you gotta walk, but it's like
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No,
When we were told we were in movies, I was like, oh crap, but it wasn't that bad.
And I told you, I was like, as long as we're not on that far side, which we weren't either, we're smack in the middle, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, it was perfect.
But you walk across music, that takes 10 seconds, and you're right there at Celebrity Hall. So, but that I think contributed to it. Just a few more walks, especially going over to the football field a few times over in sports, and then the parks, of course. And so got our walking in, and my calves are feeling the burn now that we're back.
Yeah, for sure.
And back to you with the 7.
Okay, so in episode 3 of the Mark Thru podcast, we discussed music and how it's always nice at college nationals and high school nationals to show up at the music table and you're greeted by the lovely face of Melanie Radich. And part of that is just home for me. We showed up at the music table and Melanie Radich was not there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no.
But we saw her, and she reassured us with her wholesome goodness and kind heart.
She was like, you're gonna do great, it's gonna be
the
fine.
Girls are gonna be fabulous.
I like grabbed her arm and I said, why are you not at the music table? And she was like, you're gonna do great, it's gonna be fine. Good vibes We're fine. I don't know why I'm superstitious about every little piece of that competition.
From the end of prelims through to finals, our team got so superstitious.
I blame myself. I became that way too.
They exceeded being just a little stitious
Yep.
and became superstitious.
So much so that we planned, if we were to make finals, to wear our white competition uniform. In prelims, we dropped in our all purple uniform, and semis were like, okay, shake it off, we're gonna wear our gray uniform, we're gonna feel fresh, and we hit. And so we said, we're not wearing our white competition uniforms, we're wearing our grays. We just hit in gray, we're gonna hit in gray again tomorrow. Their superstitions rubbed off on me. I was like, oh my God, maybe they're right. We need, you know?
Yep.
I became very stitious.
Okay, so diving in, NHSCC recap. Just some of our thoughts on that. There's so many divisions and so many teams that we're never gonna be able to hit all of them or even a third of them.
It would be a 4-hour podcast.
Yeah, it would be so long and it would be so dreadfully boring that you'd only listen until you heard somebody talk about a team you know. So we ain't touching that, but some takeaways just about it that, you know, we can't stop talking about essentially. Something that we saw a lot of buzz about on social media and just amongst our friends when we were down there talking is college nationals is going to be insane in the next 2 to 3 years.
I even say in the next, even next year.
Next year, yes, but
As it grows, I understand.
Yeah, give it another year so that all of these all-girl and even small co-ed teams have these skills, these
Right.
inverts. Ooh!
We saw some incredible inversions. That was hard to say.
Inversions.
It was incredible to see the technique that some of these teams were holding, the power, the hitting at the top, the not pressing. Like this was just a great rule change. Like I'm so glad the inversion rules came in because one, so much more fun for us. I know our team loves inversions. So
when I'm pushing the envelope, you have the ability because high school doesn't spin.
Yeah.
You can go to the top now.
Right.
So it teaches good technique of throwing, finishing, and catching at the top. But then they get to college, and then they can take that and build on that. That is what the sport needs is that
perfect
development.
progression.
Yes.
It is the perfect
Through
progression.
progressions, yes.
I love that. I do love that. Okay, so we want to go into just some of the top performances we noticed through the weekend. It's hard to sit and enjoy and watch the whole competition because we're there with our team.
And so much of it happens simultaneously.
True, so true. I guess if I'm just reflect on the last thing I remember from nationals, it's small D1 finals, all girl. Owasso from Oklahoma was incredible. So this
What's
was
up, Oklahoma?
yeah. This is their first year at UCA High School Nationals. They're normally an NCA
Previously, yeah.
competitive school. So, anyways, watching Owasso in finals was incredible. They were so clean. They were so sharp. They had one drop, but I feel strongly that if they would have hit, they would have won because
then you don't need to feel strongly. It was in the
score
scores.
sheets.
I mean, they scored a 93.5.
Wow, their execution was fantastic.
And Boone scored a 92, and Boone had a hit.
Yeah.
And Boone kept everything up. They won our division, small D1. Yeah, fun fact, they had a team, I think it was in small or medium co-ed.
So they have 2 varsity teams that compete at nationals? I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, as long as they're not in the same divisions.
Insane.
Yeah.
Wow, props to them then. So it's a big school.
Yeah, it has to be. Or it's the only one in
Yeah.
the area, but yeah, probably is a big school.
Wow, good for them. They were fun to watch.
That was impressive. They had the UCA style down pat.
They sure did.
They were clean. They did good technique.
Great
They caught
cheer.
Great cheer. They caught their skills at the top. Because we were in the same division as them, we didn't get to see them because we didn't compete directly against them in prelims or in semis.
No,
They
I don't
weren't in
think so.
semis because
No.
they were a straight through team.
Oh,
And they weren't in our group in prelims, and then we just caught the end of their finals when we were coming out of the review cry room. So
the cry room.
it's either happy tears or sad tears. There's no in between. You watch that
It was so
performance?
nice to have happy tears this
Oh
year.
my gosh! For once, to just have happy tears, it was just. So, moving on to the buzz of the weekend. Live Oak was in large varsity Division 2, and Live Oak was the show of the weekend.
Yeah.
They went viral on countless social media. They had people talking, all-star anons on Twitter, former coaches, retired cheerleaders, random Facebook pages sharing it. It was wild.
You had so many people on Twitter that were like, oh my gosh, you think high school cheerleading's boring? And they would play like clips of Live Oak, or like the Navarro cheerleaders were, you know, duetting it on TikTok, and they were just like, okay. From the Diamondovs that nobody else did in the competition, to the single base back handspring ups, all around, that routine had everything. And it was exciting. Do you want to watch Live Oak?
Yeah, I want to watch Live Oak. Large just fills the map.
Large is the prettiest routine in my opinion.
I'm all for medium. Medium should be the default in my mind. We'll argue this all day though.
Those Diamondovs do not move.
Don't move.
Straight to the top.
Hardest skill and so solid.
I love those. Like, that's their skill. The high to high, full around, stretch to overstretch. That is their skill, and they're so good at it. Beautiful tucks, running fulls, impeccable timing. Here are the single base back handspring ups.
Yeah, those are sick. Those bases are beasts.
Do you watch those grips though? Like, that has to be seriously so hard, because when they go, if you don't get your grip for her to pull through right away, it's done.
Yeah, here it
so
is.
you have to get that grip right away so they can pull stretch.
Yeah, it's all about that back spot, getting the right ankle, not getting both ankles.
I think the main base needs to be under it too, or it's gone. So like, that is more impressive than people think.
Full around.
Pretty. Those scales were beautiful. Here's my favorite cheer in all the land. You shake those palms, girl. Beautiful jumps right into the dance. I love that dance. That's a good dance. Lots of visuals. That was fun. A fun 8 count.
Yeah, quick dances.
But it looked good.
It's the hand in hand in the pyramid.
Load a high tick fall around. And again. Lots of ticking, spinning. Excellent. Beautiful routine. Good job, coaches. That looked awesome.
Yeah, that was solid too.
It was so good. And you can't, like, for them to hit that consistently had to have been a work in progress. You know, you watch a team like Live Oak and you're like, surely they've never struggled in their lives. They just get a routine and can hit it, which is partially true, but I loved watching. One of the top girls posted on her Instagram kind of the progressions of learning the Diamondovs. And it was just refreshing to see that they have to learn skills just like anybody else.
Oh, totally,
And,
yeah.
but I mean, you
New
just,
style, because I mean, that's not a standard cheer skill.
no.
It's very gymnastics.
It'll be interesting to see what other teams try to do those next year, because that's a very creative inversion.
Impressive cheerleading.
It
is
was
what
it was awesome, and so many college coaches were like tweeting at them like, "Thank you, Live Oak, for blessing us with this routine."
Yeah.
Like, so many people.
They're sliding in those DMs. Give us your seniors. Give us your juniors.
Can you blame them?
Yeah. Which, by the way, now is the time to start looking.
Yes.
The start of the off season. If you're senior, you already should have been looking for a while.
Yes.
Junior, it's time to pick it up. Sophomore is perfect time. Freshman, you might be a little bit early, but it doesn't hurt to look.
Yeah.
But, you gotta look. College coaches don't have the budget or the time to go look at every athlete. So, just throwing that out into the universe for anybody who is trying to be a college cheerleader.
Do it now. Don't settle.
Moving on. So, another top performance, Eagle Crest High School. So, in medium varsity Division 1.
Shout out Colorado.
Oh yes. But yeah, so they were just so solid in their performance. We saw their finals performance. running back into the venue and saw them, and just solid through and through. Stunts at the top, loud cheer.
They've looked like that all year too. So like
Totally's been their MO.
Props to them for just like making it consistent. All of the kids looked like they were all in every competition, whether it was a small school performance, whether it was state, league, nationals. Like those kids committed and they hit, and they made sure they always hit.
They truly just would go in and flip the switch.
Yeah, it was awesome to watch.
Because they were robotic with how good they were consistently.
Yeah, I'm just so happy for them. Like, well done.
Yeah.
Very well done. It does such a when they open with like the middle girl does a toe full, and then she takes a step, and then you see two of them do two fulls, and then later in the second half of the routine they do more fulls.
Don't talk about it. Let's just watch it. So there's that toe full like you mentioned.
And then they just go into two to fulls.
Yes.
Again.
Clean. Just the timing.
Yeah, their feet are not moving.
The top girls are just staying in place.
That first half was so fast. Did you? I felt like that when we watched it.
I think it's definitely a shorter first half where most people do shorter second halves.
Yeah.
Color callbacks, side to side, are my favorite.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. They're always good.
It's just, the crowd gets so involved.
It's easy to follow. And then immediately back handspring up pull throughs. So not even back handspring up to 2. They went to 1.
And once again, on time together. And then finish it out.
More inversions, shoulder sits. Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What a good hit.
It was a good hit. Oh, they're so happy.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me want to cry.
Eagle Crest bringing it home, second in a row for Colorado.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next point is Colorado just had an awesome year where once we typically see a total dominance by teams from the South or from the Northeast. So it's really just nice to see that the love's being spread and the success is happening across the country, but more so where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, very exciting.
Very cool. Colorado, like, it's been so fun to be a part of. Like, the coaches are more knowledgeable. The kids are getting more talented. Our all-star programs are getting better.
They're growing.
Yeah, our high school level teams are really up there. Talking about all of the teams that placed top 10. There was a ton of them.
Yeah, so we'll go through them. So Eagle Crest won in medium, and Chaparral got second place in medium too.
Yes, and they were like, okay, top 2 teams, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my god, they haven't said Shap or Eagle Crest, and they're like both from Colorado. I was like, no freaking way.
Yeah, that was hype.
So excited for both of them. Like, so excited for both of them. That was amazing.
Yeah, so Shap getting second, County, our team got third in small varsity. Then you have Rock Canyon, who's in large. They got fourth.
All girl.
In the all girl. Thunder Ridge, they're on the co-ed side. They're in the medium co-ed division. They took home fifth.
Excellent.
Yeah. And
their
then
routine was sick this year.
It was good. They had some good tumbling, standing fulls, things like that.
Yes, exciting elements.
And then Grandview was also in the large division. They took home sixth. And then Fossil Ridge up in Fort Collins was in the medium division with Eagle Crest and Shap, and they got ninth. And I mean, there were many other Colorado teams there representing.
Making it to finals. These were just the ones that made top 10.
Colorado teams showed up.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I could not be more proud. I know we're in a very competitive state, and I know a lot of the coaches are very intense, but they're doing a great job, obviously. Like, I loved seeing this. It was so great to leave nationals and be like, yeah, we're from freaking Colorado. Did you see how they represented this weekend?
But now when people are like, hey, how was state? And we're like, oh my gosh, state was so competitive, it was so intense. People are like, what? All those all-girl teams that I mentioned are in here, all those except Thunder Ridge. There's countless others, but we don't have small, medium, large at Colorado State. We're all 5A together.
Yes.
So it's intense competition right on the surface.
So if you're looking at our top 10 at state, Eagle Crest won nationals. They also won state. Second place at state was Rock Canyon.
Yep.
Third place was Grandview. Fourth was Shap. Then fifth was Legend. And then
Fossil was 6th and we were 7th.
So it's just crazy, like that continued on to nationals. Our state is hard.
Yeah, state comp is tough.
Yeah. So that's, I guess I just had that realization. So that's really cool.
Yeah. And then a special note that I have to give love for. Both Lauren at County as the head coach, Alicia at Eagle Crest as the head coach, and Amanda at Rock Canyon as the head coach all had babies this season. They all became first-time moms this season. I've got to give love to Mandy at Thunder Ridge. She had her third kid at the very end of last season, right before tryouts of this season.
She took all 3 to nationals too. She's
Yes,
a saint.
bless her.
Yeah, she's.
I have to give some love to these women who just commit so much time to their families, to their cheer families, and to just being successful. I mean, the proof is right there with how competitive our state is, how well everyone did at nationals. And just the dedication that these moms have towards their team, and when you see them with their kids love them fully and full-heartedly, so you know that they're giving them that same love when they're not at practice or competition. So I have to give special love to the true cheer moms of the world, the coaches that are moms.
Well, thank you. And I don't know if the other moms feel this way. I know when I became a mom, I suddenly had this golden ticket, and I all of a sudden had all these resources of other moms that reached out to me, and they were just like, it was incredible. It's like, it's a secret
support network.
It's like a secret but a non-secret club. I carried so much guilt all season, and I know some other moms have to be able to relate to this, but I just carried so much guilt because I was like, well, here I am again. I'm running practice, I'm dealing with parent emails, I'm collecting dues and fees, and my child is just sitting on the stage playing with her rattle, and she's completely content, and I can't help but be like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Are my priorities right?
Right, but she's a baby. She'd be doing that on the floor at
I
home.
know. It's just,
Exactly,
I wonder.
that's your guilt.
And I'm wondering. I'm like, there has to be other moms that feel this way. But then, as soon as we finished at finals and we got third, and we put that little medal around Murphy, and she stuck it in her mouth and was like, "Heck yeah, mom! Like you did that." It was just like, it was such a good feeling of like, I'm gonna get emotional.
All I know is it was good to see our friend Ryan, at the competition, because
Thank
then
goodness for her.
later we ran into her mom.
Yeah.
And just, we've talked about that before, just their bond and their relationship as mom and daughter, coach and athlete, and now coach and coach, which, you know, they documented on their show.
Her story will keep me from ever quitting early.
Yeah.
If there comes a time where I'm like, I need to be a better mom, I need to be a full-time mom or whatever, Ryan has been so incredible as a friend for me through this whole new motherhood thing, and she has definitely helped me validate my feelings as far as like, am I being enough of a mom, or am I being too much of a coach, and whatever that balance looks like. And for her to say, you know, my whole life I was like, I don't want to be my mom, I can't be my mom, I don't want to be my mom. And for her to be a grown adult, and she's like, no, that's exactly who I want to be. I want to be my mom. It makes me emotional. I think that's such a touching story, and thank you, Ryan, for just always listening when I feel like I have no idea what the frick I'm doing being a new mama. So
nobody does.
yeah, shout out to all the cheer coach moms. You guys are awesome. I know you guys all know how hard it is.
Yeah. The true cheer moms. Some other notable items happening in and around cheerleading right now. Cheersport just wrapped. Cheersport was posting 23,000 participants.
Holy crap.
35,000 spectators. I mean, it's at the Atlanta Georgia World Congress or whatever, the massive venue. That's where, I mean, like, there was this picture and there was a post going around where the Super Bowl logo and the NCAA logo and the Cheersport logo were all on the same banner because Atlanta is proud to host such big events, and that's how big this is. So that's pretty cool. But you know, if you're interested in the industry side of things, the average athlete fee was $150. The spectator fees are $25 a person.
Gosh, they are not making enough money.
Per day.
That's so much.
Yeah,
That's
rewind that back. 23,000 participants, 35,000 spectators. Yeah, you're doing all right, Varsity. You're doing all right.
So Varsity runs or owns Cheersport now?
Yeah, they've owned them for a while. I think the buyout happened my second or third year.
So 2000.
Something like 13 or 14.
Okay. I
So-
thought I remembered that happening, but I wasn't sure.
So once that happened, then that truly became the Triple Crown, the first leg of the Triple Crown. It was kind of always unspoken as like are they going to triple? So that's Cheersport, NCA Dallas, and then UCA All-Star.
That's a cool thing in All-Star to Triple Crown. I think that, at least me coming from a world where I didn't do All-Star as a kid, learning about that when I became an All-Star judge, I was like, I mean, again, like you were saying, it's kind of unspoken, but huge props to be able to do that. I think that's way harder than...
Only a few teams have since it's been an official thing. So like once Varsity All-Star acquired Cheersport and it became part of the Varsity All-Star suite of competitions, they were like, oh, this is an unspoken thing, let's make it a spoken thing. So they did jackets and banners, and I don't even know what the prizes are now.
Sure.
But it is rare because it's tricky to go to all three of those competitions. Cheersport and NCA are very close timing, and then UCA All-Star isn't that much later, so it's tough to go to all three. But if you do, it's going to be tough to win in all of them. I think it's a points race now based on placing. I don't think it's necessarily just an outright first. But I could be wrong. I haven't paid attention to that in a while.
Yeah, pretty cool though. Regardless.
Huge comp. Love the big stage. They do a curtain. They do a curtain in front, and then when they say the team name, the curtain opens. And
very nice.
The crowd's on the other side, so that's exciting. It's just a different way of doing cheerleading.
Can you imagine how the kids feel on the other side?
Exactly.
Like waiting for that.
We talk about the castle.
Right.
Similar feeling of just having that curtain open, and you just see, the parents and the fans and just the general supporters just being hype out there. Speaking of Cheersport hype, there's of course the big battle for hype on social media, really. It wasn't even that deep of divisions, but senior large all-girl and senior large co-ed always create the most buzz, always create the most kind of conversation among the athletes and fans of All-Star. So on the all-girl side, you got F5, Orange, and Senior Elite that were there. I believe Senior Elite won. Let's check. Yeah, so Senior Elite won. Stingray Orange taken second, and then Maryland Twisters F5 taken third. Then on the co-ed side, you have TGLC, Top Gun Large Co-ed.
I love them.
Yeah, they always put on a show.
They do. They really do.
And then Stingray Steel. So those scores, they were pretty close, but Top Gun definitely edged them. They had less deductions too, so that, as we know, always helps. Other notable for the All-Star is NCA Dallas is coming up. So
My favorite.
that's your favorite All-Star competition.
It really is. It's so... I was trying to talk to some of our kids about it because they're former NCA champions, and
you got those jackets.
they do have those jackets, and we were trying to explain it to other girls on the team who have never been to NCA Dallas, and honestly it was indescribable because that venue is massive, that stage is so, like, lots of lights, and it's my favorite. I love that event. I think it's so cool. I think it's cool. It's my favorite All-Star event.
The arena is definitely an awesome venue, just how the crowd is organized and everything. Fun fact, the people that designed the arena at Disney came to NCA Dallas
Cool.
to see the arena and see how fans loved it, how people waited there in seats, how coaches could be up close and stuff. So that's where you see the kind of double decker in the arena, and the judges being kind of hidden away where it doesn't affect the crowd, whereas the field house or other venues, the judges are kind of in that best spot, and the arena at Dallas and the arena.
So you're saying that was like kind of their inspo. Makes sense. It makes sense, and now that you say that, I can totally see that.
Right?
Yeah, very cool.
Scott, fun fact.
Is that a new segment?
Nope.
Okay,
But I might put a graphic on the screen.
that's fine.
Scott, fun fact. But yeah, so Dallas, that's at the convention center there. Yeah, we've gone to that so many times, and it's just so big. That massive hallway outside on the concourse
Is a mess.
It's a mess. You can't walk in a straight line
No,
through there.
that's awful trying to get
But
through there.
outside of that general chaos, which isn't that bad, it's just we were trying to run through there to like work.
Yeah.
NCA does do a good job with the crowd control, with
Yeah.
breaking up the venues and kind of making sure that the chaos and the hype of certain divisions and teams doesn't get out of control. So knock on wood, that goes smoothly for them as that approaches.
The fandom at NCA Dallas is big. So like at high school, a lot of teams come in to watch Live Oak, but they'll probably wait and see it online or something. At NCA Dallas, the fandom is so real. Everybody is running in to watch, their favorite teams, and
Well,
the
and
place
then
is
like
packed.
the Cheer Netflix kids from Navarro will be there probably with Cheer Athletics.
Oh yeah.
So-
oh gosh, that's
so
gonna be
there's-
hard to keep them focused all weekend.
So there's going to be chaos there. Good luck to NCA and the people of Dallas. I'm sad I'm not there getting in and out or one of the world's greatest steaks.
I was gonna say there's so many good restaurants in Dallas, and we've been lucky enough to been to a few of them.
Yeah.
Maybe we just go to go eat, and we'll say, well, we were there for NCA Dallas.
We could probably go on a different weekend.
I think it was the very last time we worked NCA
I think the
Dallas.
second to last time.
Was it the second to last?
I know what you're going to say.
when we got-
our dog while we're in Dallas.
Yeah.
You were just happened to be on Facebook and found an adorable beak.
I was on Facebook on our flight home, and they were saying they were going to euthanize all these dogs by Friday if they didn't get picked up. And they didn't say
You
that.
saved your life.
They didn't say that word for word, but they were kind of like,
Yeah.
these dogs won't be here much longer.
Yeah.
So I remember calling them on our flight home from NCA Dallas and was like, hey, do you guys still have that beagle? And they were like, yes, but we just want to give you a heads up on a couple things. She's really tiny. And I was like, is she like unhealthy? And they're like, no, she's just a really small beagle and her ears are really big. I'm like, okay, sure, she sounds hideous. We'll be there in 3 hours. Like,
Yeah.
obviously sounds like the cutest freaking dog I've ever heard in my life. Hey, that beagle. A good memory of NCA Dallas was we came home, we got our second fur baby, our second beagle.
And then speaking of the Cheer Netflix Navarro kids, Daytona is less than 50 days away.
Tona.
You ready for Tona?
Do you deserve to go to Tona?
Yes,
Adam Driver. I hope Adam Driver goes to Daytona this year. Just randomly. Just
Tona's
shows up.
on the horizon.
We are 2 days out from Tona. Can you be on that?
Oh man. But so just if you're a fan of college cheerleading, you gotta notice that, a good portion of the Navarro team is on a new YouTube video or social media thing, each week. But Trinity Valley, they got they're dead silent. They got their nose to the grindstone.
I think so. What do you think's gonna happen?
I think it's gonna be a close competition. I think we're gonna see 2 really good performances in
Yeah.
prelims, and then we're gonna see 2 really good performances in finals, and it's gonna be a decisive.
I keep
choice.
thinking about Monica, and I keep thinking, I wonder if she's stressed at all, because in my mind, I don't want cameras following my kids. I don't want cameras in my kids' faces. I don't want my kids doing all this press, these cameos, all this stuff. I want them focused, but I obviously know that they can't be focused all of the time.
Well, and you got to think they had the cameras through them for 100 days last year.
It's true. It's true. I guess just as a coach's perspective, I wonder if like all these appearances and stuff, if she's like, we need to slow down. We need to focus on our goals. And I'm sure she is. She's such a business person. But I would kind of like to get into Monica's head a little bit right now with all of the fandom and the stars. And
When have you noticed she hasn't
she
been...
met Oprah.
The Oprah was the last kind of appearance she was at. She hasn't really been to many of them recently. So
Yeah.
you can tell that, you know, her focus is
Tona.
Tona!
is on Tona. It's past the excitement of celebrating the show, and it's back to business, and business for them is being successful in Daytona. So
Yeah.
hopefully they can reach their goals, but you know, you gotta root for the underdog a little bit. Trinity Valley, you know, they're hungry for just a little bit of attention to say, hey, we're here too.
I know.
And then speaking of that hunger, Tech has been staying hungry. They got some of those Navarro kids after last season.
Yeah, I saw that. They usually do. That's a pretty good feeder.
In Texas, yeah.
Mhm.
But you know, Oklahoma State and Louisville have been contenders for it's the three of them always. So, you know, will one of those two challenge Texas Tech, or will Texas Tech, you know, take it home? It'll be interesting. So
Yeah, I can't wait. That'll
less
be
than
another
50
one.
days.
That'll be another one we can cover. That'll be fun.
Can you do it in Tona?
Can you do it in Tona?
Tona!
Another exciting part of NCA College in Daytona is partner stunt. So that's at the very end of the competition. It's the morning before Stunt Fest really kicks off. It's on that Saturday, and you see a good amount of people from the UCA side as well as from the NCA side. You see a lot of kind of skills come from that partner stunt competition and make its way through to teams for their routines for next year.
Totally. I love that. That excites me more so than watching partner stunt. I love watching like, oh, we're gonna see that next year. It's almost like a preview.
Yeah, it's like that's where the innovation comes from. So yeah, so that's gonna be really great to see for both all girl and co-ed down in front of the band shell. Will it be broadcast? Who knows? But speaking of partner stunt, the Nfinity Unified Stunt Championship is coming up also in April. It's like a week or so later. Do you have any idea what that is, Lauren?
No, I was just gonna ask you to kind of fill me in because
Okay.
it's the Nfinity. So by the
The shoot
company,
people.
the shoot people. Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, so Nfinity has been getting into competitions the last few years, and they too have noticed that partner stunt competitions have kind of fallen to the wayside, whether that's because of politics within the sport, or money and profit driving with having more teams register versus individual partner stunts. So they thought, let's make our own. And so their biggest thing, why they call it unified, is they want all types.
Yeah.
They want acro people. They want people, on their registration form, they're looking for same gendered duos. So girls that can partner stunt, they want to see the best of all the different styles. So right now, their submissions for this April's competition are open till the end of the month.
You want to go?
I mean, we got to make a video. But so if you are a partner stunner, all girl group, acro person, somebody who just loves throwing your friends in the air, check it out. It's the Nfinity Unified Championship. But what was so cool, last year was the first year. The prelims round comes up. They're having the teams that kind of work in front of the judges, where the judges can kind of be engaging with the groups.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then from there, they had all the teams sit out, and they had a surprise for them, and they said, all right, pick 3 pieces of paper from this hat, and it was 3 different stunts.
What?
And so they said, we want to see you prove that you're the best in the world. Can you link these 3 stunts together? You can get into them however you want, you can come out of them however you want, but they gotta be
connect 'em.
connected.
That's very interesting. That's like a whole new level of pig.
Right? Yeah, totally reminded me of Stunt Pig.
Yeah.
Totally did, but it really kind
I
of
love
puts
Stunt
that
Pig.
pressure on you. Are you that good of a stunter, or are you somebody who knows your 6 stunts?
Yeah, that I feel like that's a good for them, because that's a good way of being like, let's make sure you're the best all around stunter, not a routine that you've done for 12 months so you can hit it in Tona and win, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's very cool.
So and what that did was that just kind of reduced the field so that the finals was, not as big, but their finals was a pre-prepared routine. It was a classic competition.
Is it everybody against everybody, or do they have divisions?
They separated all girl and co-ed, but other than that, it was 4-girl and then duos.
So with last year being their first year ever, how did they get people to sign up?
Just through social media, just through general hype.
That's so cool.
Last year, there was an acro group that was doing stuff, so it was interesting.
That's awesome.
Seeing the judges kind of talk about, they didn't do your typical TikTok, but they did, a one-arm hand ski and then switched and did another arm hand ski.
Impressive.
So is that a TikTok? Should we score that there? Is that a spinning stunt? Is that an invert? Because they weren't super comparable, so it was interesting kind of hearing that they let the judges kind of speak about that. And then, so in the end, a college co-ed group won and a college all-girl group won. So it was really cool to see. I mean, there were people that were retired.
We should
go. Active. It's in Atlanta, mid-April, so I think it's the week of tryouts, so probably not. I thought it stuck out to me, and I do want to follow it through April.
Yeah.
And talk about it because, I mean, Tate from Nfinity, he said himself in the video I watched about it that, partner stunt, like we were just talking about, is where that innovation happens. Partner stunt is where the creativity occurs from.
And how cool is that? Because it comes from the athletes.
Totally.
It doesn't come from a choreographer. It doesn't come from like a really good, legendary coach. It comes from the athletes.
Say, what if I throw you like this?
Yeah.
What if I catch you like this?
And then, hey coach, is that illegal? No, that's not illegal. Cool, we're gonna do it.
Or, do it one more time? Okay, let me sit and find out.
Yeah. I just think that is something really special about our sport. That's pretty cool.
And to make it even cooler, they just said no rules. They said there's no limitations. If you want to do a double back rewind, and they said be safe, and people were safe. People didn't do stupid stuff, but they removed those restrictions and said where can you be creative? Nobody's gonna do a triple down. A triple down doesn't look cool. They weren't worried about doing a triple down. So that it's kind of moot, but that was a cool factor that they removed those restrictions.
That there's no rules. That's probably because acro though, right? If acro's doing it too, because they probably do a lot of stuff that by rules are not legal, or some moves are not legal in cheerleading. I said that goes into the unified sense of the competition. Cool.
They wanted to blend styles and do that. So the competition will be in April in Atlanta, and then submissions are due on the 28th. So
cool.
End of this month. I'm excited to see, because I think last year they shared some of the submission videos and just to create some of the buzz. So I just love partner stunt. I'm a junkie for it. Proud of my friends that have won it. I'm just excited to watch this. Just another avenue for partner stunt.
It's the only way in cheerleading you can stand out as a single athlete too. So I think that's also why you love it, because as a lot of people on any team, not everybody gets to walk away as a national champion. And so when you walk off the floor and you're like, well, I did my job, but my teammates maybe didn't because of a mindset or BS or this or that. Partner stunt is a great avenue to be like, let me show you what I'm made of, kind of a thing. To single yourself out in a sport that is so team oriented, where everybody has to move the same and this and that. And
well, it's a great way to express your athleticism, like like where we saw Keyshawn when he won UCA in that video, ending with the one-arm rewind as one of the final skills. Like that's a flex. That's not like, oh, we're getting to the end, let me do a full up, pull lib, and a TikTok, and we pop it off to end it. No, now it's like, I'm gonna go as hard as I can and show you that I'm the best, because the guy next to you is gonna go do the same. So I just love partner stuff.
I don't know how many times as a top girl, like me or our top girls that we coach are like yelling down at their bases, like, get your grip. So like, it's fierce.
Yeah, boys, you gotta get your grips. No junk grips.
You two girls, get your grips.
What's that? Bases. Let's rephrase
There we
that.
go.
Bases. Get your grips. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, I ain't standing on that.
Thoughts on cheerleading in the middle of February?
I'm tired.
Yeah, it's the end of the season.
Thoughts mid-February. I'm not ready for this season to be over. I am excited for next season. I am going to enjoy all of the All-Star and NCA stuff that I just get to relax and watch over the next couple months.
Get to be a cheer fan again.
Yes, and not a stressed, crazy coach. So that's nice.
Yep.
What about you? How you feeling?
Feeling good, feeling great. Very appreciative of all of our listeners. Especially in 2020, we've seen a lot more subscribers and listens. So thank you to everyone who has been
Thank you guys.
engaging with us.
This has been fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it is fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's exhausting for us, but like, what else would we? This is absolutely what we want to be doing. There's no off season.
There's no off season.
So, but yeah, I'm with you. Thank you to everybody who's listening and subscribing.
Yeah, I think that's the end of episode 8.
Yeah, I'm pooped.
Cue the music, Bobby.
Oh,
Who's Bobby?
last note of nationals.
Yes.
Right before the girls ran out of the castle, or I guess when the girls ran out of the castle and they got set and they were ready, Scott yelled, "Music's on!" And I'm not kidding you, right after Kate comes down and she goes, I felt like I was waiting for episode 8 to come out and just go from there. Because the beginning of our intro, we always say, "Music's on!" So Kate heard you yell that, and she was like, "Oh, I was just ready for the next episode of the Mark Thru to just start playing, not our routine to go." And I thought that was so funny.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So that was a highlight.
All right. So music is not on.
No, music is off.
Cue the music.
Go to bed.
Yes.
You ready for this? Who live is this? Who lit is this? Who real is this? We too legit. We are M-A-R-K-T-H-R-U. Mark Thru Podcast. Listen and learn, watch and observe. Challenging us, they got some nerve. He great. You mad? Don't hate. Get to it. Don't wait. We do not hesitate. We doing what it takes. What we do. Mark Thru.